Back in 2008, Professor Peter Scott predicted what international higher education and student mobility might look like in the 2020s. Scott proposed that changes in global higher education would be at least as much due to social, cultural, and economic forces as it would be the result of any specific policy. He might not have predicted a pandemic, but he was aware that the university sector is affected by global issues beyond its control. Governments invest billions in international higher education for multiple reasons, including to drive economic growth, to increase cross-cultural understanding, to improve the quality of education, and to grow relationships between institutions and individuals. Furthermore, through schemes like Fulbright and Erasmus, governments use universities as part of their foreign policy, hoping to influence other countries through soft power. In all likelihood, these policy drivers will remain dominant in a post-COVID-19 world. There will be a need for quality university graduates to help regrow the economy and have the relational skills to work across international and intercultural divisions. However, the tools and policies implemented by governments and the EU may change. As a result of economic and climate change concerns, the EU was already funding more projects which facilitated staff exchanges or online networks rather than focusing on mass student mobility. Some university campuses in the US and Europe have similarly preferred schemes for short-term or virtual mobility over long-term periods abroad. Covid-19 may reinforce this trend, but to be clear, this would be an evolution rather than reversal of current policy. But what would these policies mean for students and their experiences? When I surveyed a small group of students who had participated in an international mobility program, nearly all of the students identified their overseas experience as giving them better career or earning prospects. But 2/3 also identified networking, friendships, and cultural understanding as being important outcomes from their studies. International education can create social capital, and these face-to-face relationships are increasingly important to graduates. After COVID-19, students will continue to balance the economic benefits of an international education against any perceived risks. Just as with education policy, this may drive students to shorter or virtual international experiences. But, given the importance of the social capital I identified in my survey, I think there will always be students looking for the networking and human benefits of a physical global education, whatever the external environment. In conclusion, returning to Professor Scott's predictions for education in the 2020s, he also anticipated that higher education would turn away from the historic geopolitical framing of policy to one which promotes cultural pluralism and even celebrates cultural difference. Some institutions have already addressed this and have students graduating with this mentality. Their graduates will be more needed than ever in a post-COVID-19 world.